I haven't seen episode 3 yet, so I don't know if the secret traitor has been revealed yet. But if I see Donna Kelce waddle her ancient hips into that turret as the secret traitor, I am going to be so disappointed. Hello, everybody. I am excited to talk about the first 2 episodes of the Traitors Season 4, which I thought was off to a very entertaining start. I'm not going to talk about episode 3 until either later today or tomorrow. I've only watched the first 2 episodes like I planned to do, and so that is what I will be talking about today. So I have enjoyed the first 2 episodes for the most part, and I think it is because we have a good twist this season, unlike last season where we had a twist that I did not like. This season we have the secret traitor twist, which I do love as a twist. It's far better than last year's twist of here's 3 people entering the game later than everyone else and getting an advantage over others, even though some of those others have won Survivor twice. That twist didn't make any sense. It was to protect Boston Rob, I guess, and I hated it. This secret twist, the secret traitor twist, is the type of twist that I would even consider doing in a game on this channel if I ever do more games, because there is not only a added strategy dynamic because the secret traitor doesn't know the other traitors and the other traitors don't know the secret traitors, so they're all trying to work together but also not and trying to figure out each other. I think that is a fun dynamic, but it's also fun for us as an audience because we have to try and figure out who we think the secret traitor is. So it's a fun twist all around. I wasn't sure if they actually chose the secret twist randomly, like they kind of made it seem random, but I also feel like Alan probably knew which box had the secret traitor card and which box belonged to all the cast. I don't know if it was random or not. Since I haven't watched episode 3, I don't know if the secret traitor has been revealed yet, so don't spoil me in the comments if you know. But I'm assuming that's something that's going to be like the cliffhanger to episode 3 at the end of episode 3, and we'll find out at the beginning of episode 4 next week. That would be my assumption. I do want to talk about the actual traitors first, though. So, of course, I love the fact that Candiace is a traitor. I gushed about her in my cast assessment a few days ago. I talked about her double the amount of time that I talked about everyone else. I do feel like people either love Candiace or hate Candiace on the Housewives of Potomac, while I fall into the love Candiace category, and she can easily carry the drama and entertainment for the traitors, and I'm glad that she gets the chance to shine on a bigger platform, because honestly the Real Housewives of Potomac without her can't even get higher ratings than Married to Medicine. So I think Candiace is a good choice as a traitor. Lisa Rinna, a fellow housewife and a Days of Our Lives alum, is also a traitor. 2 housewives being traitors is different. It switches things up, which I'm happy to see. They are happy to see each other, of course. And they're 2 interesting picks because I do feel as though both Candiace and Lisa Rinna are very polarizing housewives. I do feel like people either love them or hate them, which is perfect for a show like The Traitors, because as we saw last season, you might get a lot of love as a traitor. You might get a lot of hate as a traitor. Why not have both? And I think that both Lisa and Candiace will fall into that polarizingness on social media. Then, of course, Rob R. from Love Island, who I guess I will be calling Love Island Rob. Love Island Rob is also a traitor, which is a pretty obvious choice to me. I think I said that in my cast assessment, that Peacock would definitely choose one of their Love Island cast members, and I do think Rob was a good choice because he honestly was quite manipulative on season 6 of Love Island USA. We saw him manipulate drama with Leah at the beginning of the season a lot. So I think he's going to be a very underrated traitor. He's a very underrated strategist coming into this. But I think in 2 episodes, he probably has one of the best edits, which makes me think he's going to have a very good shot at winning this game. So yeah, I like these picks. I like that there's no gamers as traitors. I have tried to stay off of social media as to not get spoiled. I'll check social media's whining after I watch episode 3, but I did see some Reddit threads and their reactions to the first 2 episodes specifically. And there is already crying that there are no gamers as traitors. What about the strategies? These are our traitors. And frankly, I don't get it, because people will cry about the traitors not being strategic so that they think they need gamers to be traitors, as if the gamers outside of Suri haven't been the worst traitors. Dan was an awful player as a traitor. Dan shit the bed so hard. Parvati was so subpar as a traitor as well, and she was also brought down by Dan's bad gameplay, but she had some bad gameplay of her own. Danielle last season was so over the top and obvious. Boston Rob last season was way too aggressive and went after his own traitors way too soon. So honestly, they were a bunch of truly bad players at this game, despite having previous experience in strategy games. So these gamers as traitors can be quite bad, and I like that they switch things up. And one of them could be the secret traitor. Would I have liked to see Natalie or Tiffany or Rob Has a Podcast as a traitor? Yes, but honestly, Ian would have bored me, and it's a no for me with Jam Jam. So I don't hate that, but I am going to be a hypocrite, because as much as I don't like the whining from people that nobody from CBS is a traitor, I'm probably going to whine about Donna Kelce for the rest of this video. Also, before we get to my whining about Donna, I like that the traitors so far have agreed to try to be very loyal to each other after last season's complete shit show. So that's a good thing as well. And I do think Lisa and Candiace will definitely be, or at least try to be, loyal to each other. I don't know about Love Island Rob. I think he might be swayed to try and turn on one of them if he has to. I think there's a lot more strategy to him. But it's good to see the traitors want to work together, at least early, because that's the way to do it. And that's better than the gamers last season. Let's move on to Donna Kelce, because I still hate this casting. Like I said, I haven't seen episode 3 yet, so I don't know if the secret traitor has been revealed yet. But if I see Donna Kelce waddle her ancient hips into that turret as the secret traitor, I am going to be so disappointed, because she is giving nothing. This is my Donna Kelce impression in the first 2 episodes. Just sitting there, sour-faced, seeming totally dry and uninterested, barely playing the game. It's not the type of casting that I like. There are only 3 ways to annoy me with this show, because it's such a fun show and a fun concept. And it's either bad twists, like last season. It's traitors who are afraid to actually be traitors, like Carolyn last season. Or cast members that will give nothing, like Donna. And I'm also sick of everyone calling her America's mom. That's not my mama. And it's not like people even refer to her as Travis Kelce's mom. They're more so referring to her as Taylor Swift's future mother-in-law. I'm already sick of it 2 episodes in. And Donna's not like the only cast member not giving. I don't think Tara is really giving me much either. I don't think Eric is really giving me much either, but they might have better edits down the line. They do seem like 2 players who are going to go under the radar too long and pop up later in the season and maybe have some good ideas, but Donna is certainly my least favorite so far, because the other big thing that's irking me about Donna is she didn't even participate in the second challenge. If you can't do the challenges, I think it's unfair to even be cast in the first place, because everyone else has to do get messy in these challenges, do the physical challenges. And I get she's old, but the nepotism is too much. And the ass kissing is killing me. At one point, she said, like, she feels like she doesn't belong there in the cast, and people kissed that ass like that wasn't a true statement. And for the record, I did feel the same way about Dylan Efron last season, that he was nepotism casting as well. So this is not an ageist thing. This is just a nepotism casting thing on this show that is becoming a problem. So I don't like everyone being afraid to vote for her. Well, not everyone. At least half the cast has some balls to their game. Anyway, though, I hope she doesn't waddle into the turret. That's all I can say. So anyway, the secret traitor twist. The secret traitor will give the short list to the other three traitors, and then Candiace, Lisa, and Love Island Rob have to choose from that. They did end up killing Ian first, and I did feel bad for Ian because he is a gamer, and he also didn't really get a chance to play on Big Brother Small Stars 2. But I guess that's what happens when you win your first season. You are going to be a big target if you enter another game. You got to survive the early game, and it just wasn't in the cards for Ian. He also does have a lot of anxiety, I remember, on the feed, so I do think this was a big deal for him to come to a different country to play the game. And I think that's why Tiffany gave a good speech about him afterwards. I did not like Colton being suspicious of Tiffany, because Tiffany felt bad for someone from her own show being off first. Like, I didn't understand Colton being suspicious about that at all. I don't know if he has CTE from his football days, but I have since learned that Colton was a stalker in real life. So that makes him come off even more creepy every time I see him play now. I question, is he just kind of a weirdo? And I kind of do feel that way after these first two episodes. Let me think about some of my other impressions on these cast members so far. Michael Rapaport is as loud and obnoxious as expected. He's already grinding other players' gears. And it's because there's like no rhyme or reason to some of the things he says. I don't know if he's going to just be like a big emotional player, which it kind of feels like. To me, Michael is the epitome of a bad faithful. He called out the housewives that maybe one of them would be a traitor. He called out the gamers that one of them might be a traitor. He called out Rob from Love Island for being quiet. He called out Jam at the challenge because of a shield. But, you know, the thing with Bad Faithfuls is that they do make good TV. So I'm not sick of him yet, even though the cast members are getting sick of him. And I will take him being the secret traitor over Donna. Even though if he is the secret traitor and he starts working with the other traitors, it's going to be a shit show like last season, though, because he's going to cause disarray within that group, unfortunately. Rob has a podcast, and Tiffany are working together as gamers. I don't know why they haven't tried to pull in Natalie more, because Natalie has already brought a lot of good strategies to this game. We'll get to Natalie in a second. I have good things to say about her. I like Johnny so far. He's far more entertaining than Tara, his counterpart. Although the thing I remember most about him from these first two episodes is him falling in the water and soaking himself. He and Tara are trying to play off their closeness as a secret, and I'm assuming so far it's working. They have that going for them as two faithfuls. So I think they might be, if Tara survives this round and isn't offed in the next episode, which she has the possibility of being, Johnny and Tara might go far just because they have that prior relationship that nobody else has figured out yet. Monet is trying to find allies. I like how much strategy Monet is bringing to the game. She is a big fan of Survivor, so that makes sense. And I like to see the strategy from her and Jam together. Monet is trying to find a lot of allies, but it seems like so far with the edit, we see Jam as Monet's main ally because they watch each other on TV. So I guess that's another potential duo to watch. So we have Rob has a podcast and Tiffany, Johnny and Tara, Monet and Jam. Let's move on to the Candiace and Porsha incident. where Candiace told Porsha that Michael said he was targeting the housewives in the grave challenge, and then Porsha confronted Michael about that. Michael said he didn't say that. Ron agreed that he didn't say that, so they confronted Candiace. And I'm thinking Candiace tried to throw Michael under the bus harder because Michael is this big Housewives fan, and he likes to run his mouth, and he has talked shit about Candiace in the past on one of the Watch What Happens lives, and I think that Candiace was trying to get him out early, which I can't blame her because he does have an annoying, loud mouth. Luckily for Candiace, when they went to her to confront her, she said that Porsha must have misheard her and that she was just saying that Michael was targeting the housewives the day prior, which was true. He was saying one of the housewives has to be a traitor. And then Mara, who was in the car with Candiace and Porsha, couldn't remember either exactly what Candiace said, so Candiace was luckily saved thanks to Mara. Thank you, Mara, for having an absolutely terrible memory. Then Porsha became her slow self. I told you all in the cast assessment that Porsha was slow, and it's probably going to get her into trouble, and that is exactly what happened. I don't know how she has the slip of the tongue so much, but she does. Somehow what came out of Porsha's mouth when they were talking about Ian being killed was, he's the one I killed. I don't even know why she would say such a thing. I was watching this with Q, and we both laughed our asses off for 30 seconds straight after this happened, because it was, frankly, quintessential Porsha, just saying things that she doesn't even remember saying. They just come out of her mouth because she's so slow. And what made all of her slip-ups even better was that Ron was the one to hear all of these, so that Ron can give commentary on all of Porsha's slip-ups, because it really was mounting up as evidence against her. She also said that if we kill a faithful and banish one, which I understand what she was saying there. It was like we as a collective. Michael later said we during the round table as well. But especially early in the game, people are going to jump all over that. But Porsha saying he's the one I killed was so dumb of her. And of course, people were going to run with that because it does seem like a major slip up. Why wouldn't people run with that? So yeah, Ron is cracking me up so far. He would be one of my favorites if he wasn't so damn aligned with Donna Kelce. Donna's like his main alliance so far. Although I kind of would like the secret traitor to be Ron. I am wondering if the secret traitor is a guy, because we have two women and Rob from Love Island as the three main traitors. It would make sense that the secret traitor is a guy, but if it was random, that's not necessarily true. I could see it being Rob has a podcast. I could see it being Michael, but I kind of want it to be Ron. And I feel like it would work with the edit, because as the secret traitor, you don't want to seem like a traitor. Maybe he did really think Porsha was a traitor. He could get out Porsha, and then nobody's ever going to suspect him of being the secret traitor. And then when he meets up with the other traitors, he could say, well, I didn't know she was a traitor. I was just playing the game. Ron would be an interesting choice for secret traitor, but we'll see. Let's talk about the first round table. I want to give Natalie her props for not only talking first at the round table, but bringing up Donna's name when so many people are afraid to do that because of the Swifties. I love Natalie. She has already brought strategies into this game. She was bringing strategies during the Coffin in the Grave challenge. And frankly, she doesn't get enough credit for being one of the best Survivor winners of all time, especially winning with her first season. Because all these people get all this credit for winning when they played 2, 3, 4 times and won their second time or won their fourth time, like Boss and Rob. Natalie won her first time. Her first ally was voted out at the beginning of the game. Her main ally, her sister, was voted out at the beginning of the game. Her second main ally, Jeremy, was voted out in the middle of the game. And she still played an awesome game. So I already like what I see from Natalie. I don't know if her aggression with the strategies will get her in trouble at some point. But she's right that as faithful, you have to speak up. You can't be afraid to speak up, because how else are you going to find the traitor? So I hope she keeps doing that, not only for the gamer in her, but also because it just makes for good roundtables when people aren't afraid to speak up. So at the roundtable, Ron presented all this evidence against Porsha. Michael tried to call out Jam. Natalie was trying to call out Donna. Candiace and Donna got into it a little bit. Candiace stood up for Porsha. It's true. Anyone that's ever watched Porsha would have just known that she's slow, and that was just quintessential Porsha. But clearly enough people haven't seen The Real Housewives of Atlanta and wouldn't know that. I think it's good that Candiace didn't vote out Porsha. It will look like she was defending a faithful. Lisa Rinna voted out Porsha, though, which I think was bad for her long game, because it already has Dorinda and Caroline, the other two housewives, feeling odd that she already turned on the housewives, because for so many seasons, the housewives have tried to stick together. Off the bat, Lisa votes out Porsha. I just think that Lisa has the possibility of losing people that would have her back too early. And if she ever becomes more suspicious of being a traitor, then it's not looking good for her. And it seemed like even before she became a traitor, people were suspecting her of being the traitor. So I don't know if that works out great for Lisa Rinna. But Porsha, unfortunately, was the one eliminated. But at least we got classic Porsha in episode 2. And then to end episode 2, we have the murder in plain sight twist, which they have to cause a distraction and then get tarot cards out of the safe behind a picture on the wall. So Candiace's idea is to start a conga line, which is such an out there idea. Who would have thought of that to cause a big distraction? Because it's a little odd to do, but she did. And obviously Rob has a podcast, found that suspicious. Like, it could have been a distraction to cause a murder in plain sight. I do think Rob has a podcast had suspicions about Candiace after that, because he learned that she started the conga line. But, he could have felt like he was being too paranoid, like the gamers can usually be. But the fact is, someone had to make a distraction so that Rob from Love Island could get the cards, which is exactly what happened. And then Rob and Lisa planned the next murder between the 4 choices, which I believe were Monet, Rob has a podcast, Kristen, and Tara. I'm hoping Tara is the one that gets the boot because she's boring. I will be upset if it's Monet. I will kind of be upset if it's Rob has a podcast, although that would work out well for Candiace. I want to see more from Kristen, but she's really not bringing it either. She's also under the radar. So we'll see how episode 3 transpires, but so far so good. I like the traitors. I hope we have a good secret traitor too. Either someone that's going to cause drama for the traitors, or just someone that's not Donna Kelce, quite frankly. That's the way that I feel.